I am super impressed with you, Elyse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What I do now?
Well, you did what you said you were going to do.
Oh.
You told us that you were going to make a reel a day. You were going to put it on social media.
Yeah, for January.
For January. And what are we on, day 5 now? Day 6?
Day 5.
Day 5. And you've done it.
I have done it. It's been an interesting thing to do. It's hard to say something in a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm. And to do it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really just don't even know what I'm going to say. So it's just kind of been trusting whatever comes my way. So far, it's been basically this week has ended up being kind of like a show and tell of things in my office that speak to me and why I've chosen to have them in there, or how I've chosen to specifically not have certain items and things in my office for sure, but even maybe my whole house. So I've mentioned that. And I think that then from here, I'm going to go, I believe that what we surround ourselves with plays an important role in our emotional state and well-being and peace. And so from there, I'd like to go into maybe some exercises that I can offer, just like little short exercises. That's my thought. So actually, I don't know. So
I think that'd be great.
And then I thought, then you're using your body to find that, emotional well-being and stability. And then if we can do like a combination of, the inner thoughts with the outer thoughts, and then your space awareness, I think in my head, that'll be the January reel a day. I don't know. It's tricky.
I love looking forward to your reel a day when it comes out. It's really exciting. And I also love that you're talking about things like what's in front of you, which is what I always tell you I have trouble with, right? For remembering what it is that I'm trying to think about. And you're now talking about the things that you surround yourself
right.
with.
I have all those things all over my space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quote after quote, and, photograph, or I did a box of like oracle cards, like reading cards. I like to use those, especially if I'm just wanting to get into a certain mindset, so that I'm like thinking a little deeper and maybe in my alone state. So it's kind of like my personal meditation, or kind of portal into my creativity or something like that. So I like to use those kinds of tools. So yeah, I've just kind of been looking around my room and talking about some of that stuff, and people have been very grateful. It sounds like that my feedback has been very positive, that it's been helpful.
Where can people find the reels? What are they on?
Everything.
So Facebook, Instagram,
whatever,
TikTok,
all
and
the things.
YouTube. Okay, so
I don't
they
know.
can look.
You're the YouTube poster, so
I do
don't
post
know
it on
if you
YouTube.
posted
They're
it
under
or
our chiming in feed.
not. Okay. So I want to tell the story about a trip we took to Maine with our good friends, Megan and Steve.
You're going to tell that story?
Well, it came up the other day, and it was so funny. And I think...
Funny for whom?
Oh, my God. So it was, the summer of 2021?
Yes.
And we were in an art gallery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a really cool art gallery, too. I really like that.
Yeah. It was very beautiful. And somehow we got separated. You ended up looking at some piece of art for a little longer than the rest of us, the three of us. So we ended up towards the front door. And then, lo and behold, the actual artist, the husband of it was like a mom and pop gallery.
Yeah, you talking to the wife, I was talking to the husband, who was the artist.
Yeah, so he happened to show up. So you ended up in a conversation across the room, basically. And Megan, Steve, and I were at the front door, and the wife was talking to us, and we were getting a whole earful of where we should go take a hike. And that was pretty easy, because she said that she takes the hike with her grandson, like 5-year-olds. We're like, oh, that's good for us. We we need not a major hike. We need a minor hike. So
Right.
we were like all in. And then, and so it was also, in 2021, we still had masks on
Right.
sometimes, and especially indoors. And so I guess the three of us had our masks on, and all of a sudden, this woman, and they were quite a bit older than us, and she says, "So, how long has your?" I can't even say this. She goes, "How long How long has your father been into art?" So she says that to about you,
Right. To my
to
children.
me and our friends,
Right.
and who our friends, all we can see are eyes, right? So we have
Yeah,
masks
you
on.
have to describe what everybody's wearing and what everybody looks like.
Oh, okay. So, well, obviously we look young. I did have my hair in like pigtail braids.
Okay, so Pippi Longstocking.
No. And, they had baseball hats on, and,
Yeah,
I
Steve
mean,
had
we
like
look good.
A
Yeah,
Baja thing.
yeah.
You look like a surfer or something.
No, yeah. And you had a baseball hat on too, I think. And
Yeah, but it was the
so,
correct way.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, but of course, my first reaction, my knee-jerk reaction was I to not know what the hell she's talking about. Like I didn't understand, but within like a half a second, I can feel energy. So I can feel like Megan and Steve like want to be like eaten in the floor, like they're dead. They can't even talk. And so without skipping a beat, I'm like, oh yeah, he's liked art for a long time.
Ever since we were little kids.
And and so we didn't make her. I didn't want to make her feel bad.
No, no,
I
definitely.
didn't want to be like
Don't make
my.
her feel bad when she calls your husband your father.
Oh my god. So we were like thanking her as quickly as possible, and we leave you in there a little
Right.
extra
Right.
because you won't. You're just involved and so on. So we walk down the street. Of course, cannot breathe. We're dying laughing so much. And by the time you found us, we had a new nickname for you, Papa Dave.
Yeah.
It was
That's it.
awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was absolutely shocked that that's what happened. I'm just having this nice conversation with
I
this
know.
guy.
You were in your own little world. Well, and then we went to the hike that she told us to go on,
That's right.
and it was not easy.
Not for children.
We were dead. We could not. We were like, we're supposed to climb that boulder? What's happening?
We were just a little bit short of not needing rope.
It was, we, yeah. So, so there were two, kind of moments in a row that gave us a little inkling that we might not all be as young as we thought.
It's true.
Maybe there was a perception we thought we might be younger. Maybe I don't know. We had a good laugh, both in the gallery and on the hike. We did make it to the top. It was gorgeous.
Was that the hike that the people had like dogs
Yeah,
in their
right. So
backpacks?
we're like trying to climb. I don't know. I'm calling it a boulder, but it was like we're trying to climb these big, huge rocks,
Big slabs
mounds,
of rock, yeah.
and these people literally come up behind us with, I don't know, backpacks on, and they're big, like German shepherds or whatever, and they're running up the boulders.
Yes, that did happen.
Yeah, past us. They're like on your right. I'm like, oh my god, and we're like, should we just sit and rest? It was hilarious. And we're in, pretty good shape. So it was definitely, we were all like scratching our heads, like, how did this basically, like, our elder suggest this is a easy thing to
Right.
do?
Yeah, and going back to them thinking that I was your father, I really think the mask had a lot to do with it because
No.
our faces were totally covered.
No, it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it was totally that.
Nope, you're just our papa. You,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
your
call me that all the
hair's
time
not, your hair might be salt and pepper.
That's it then. Salt and pepper makes me papa. For me, what's shocking about this story is that I do not feel older than like 20 in my brain. Like my brain literally feels like a young person,
Did you used to forget stuff when you were that age?
probably.
I think it's gotten a bit worse,
And maybe.
my love. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm not scared of aging. I think of it more as a privilege and a gift. Are you scared?
No, I also think of it as a privilege. And I love the fact that as I get older, people respect me more. And my years of experience seem to mean something.
Yeah, it's like it's I think it's a mindset, right? It's a state of mind. So I think your age is your attitude. It's your state of mind. That's what I believe my actual true age is, even if the number goes up because I've lived on earth longer.
So the way I choose to live my life and to think about as I get older, keeping myself young, the first thing I think of is purpose. So that means having a purpose every single day, having things that interest me, having a job, but also if I retire, I still want to have things that I want to be excited about and
Yeah.
interested in.
You have to, exactly, you have to feel needed.
Yes.
And I think sometimes as we get older, there's often the sense that you're no longer needed or you no longer have something to offer the world in some way. I think it might be like your own identity. I don't know that it comes necessarily from the outside in all the time. I maybe think that, an individual mindset is that you're just kind of going along on autopilot and maybe not necessarily looking to learn something new or put yourself in a position where you could be of service.
Yeah, absolutely. When my father was a lawyer and then he had a stroke and then he wasn't able to be a lawyer anymore, and he put so much of his life into going to work and doing that every day, he lost a sense of purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that he had all, you know, so much of the way he thought of himself, his identity was wrapped into that career, and perhaps that's the lesson is that our career is just one part of us, and what our quote job is not the whole picture. So, if God forbid something happens to alter your entire life and livelihood, could you pivot and still thrive?
Exactly.
So that leads me to think that he might have lost motivation. And again, I think that's a serious lesson because we would age a lot faster. And obviously, we're not talking about our hair and skin and everything anymore at this point. But your mindset would be less goal oriented or less hopeful. Maybe you don't hope for things the same way as you get up there in the years. I mean, obviously, this isn't everybody, but I can only speak for myself. I have so many interests. I often, if anything, I feel like anxious that I even have enough time to do all the things that I want to do? And I kind of think you're similar in that way. And to think that there may be a time where I just kind of give up and just go on autopilot, that to me is the surefire way to feel, quote, feel my age in number. So I think that it might be, I mean, what am I going to forget what that is? I mean, should I write them down? What should we do?
Well, we should put it on sticky notes. Let's say chiming in on it. And I think that there's a lot of that missing in people's lives where they are resigned to a certain way of living and they're not going to pursue those interests, and they're not going to be thinking, oh, I'm too old to do that. I can't do that anymore. I don't want to start a new project. I'm too, that's for the young people. Like there's this mindset that I'm too old to do those things, or I'm at the stage of my life where
I hear that
I
all the
don't want to
time.
do that. Like, what are you talking about? If you're interested in something, if you
It's
want to
too
learn
late. Everyone
something,
thinks
do
it's
it.
too late. I don't know. I don't feel that way at all.
No, I don't
I
either.
couldn't even, in fact, it kind of like almost is painful when I hear somebody say that. And I hear it a lot. There's such a kind of a, what is it? It's a grim outlook
Mm.
on, and what is
Yeah.
that? Yeah, we need to course correct. I think if you have that mindset and you think that it's somehow too late for you to, learn something new
Write a book
or write a book
or make a song or
yeah,
make art or make a garden.
or learn how. People don't feel, I don't think that they know how to do those things. Like you and I are not afraid to figure that crap out. Like we're just going to figure it out. If we don't know how to garden, we're going to figure it out. And if we don't know how to watercolor, we're going to figure it out. And if you don't feel comfortable figuring it out, there's still so many ways to learn. And sometimes that may be the best of both worlds, that you're trying something new and learning from someone who has the techniques.
Yeah, I mean, as you're talking, I'm just thinking about all sorts of things like pottery and taking a course at one of the local art studios. Or, I mean, you can do anything you want to do. You just have to decide to do it and sign up for it.
And
Do it.
and I think, like, thinking about your dad for a minute, if he didn't feel like he could be in the same environment that he used to be and feel comfortable because maybe he didn't have the same type of speech, it was just tough for him. So, yeah, I mean, I wish he, obviously his journey was his journey, but I wish he would have like had so many other interests that would have brought him into a new chapter. Just
Absolutely.
because something, a door closes, doesn't mean another one doesn't open when you're 60, 70, 80 years old. You still, I mean, on the other hand, we always say, if you don't have your health, what do you have?
Right. That is super important. So if you can't run up the stairs or do things that you used to do, I can see that that would also
And it can
feel
be depressing.
really
Yeah.
depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think now, while we have everything, the gratitude for it is so strong. And if for any reason, like I said, something changes to make all, like, everything we know have to pivot, which, I mean, it happens every day, I mean, how many people do we know that, discover they have cancer and have to go through a whole treatment and everything has to stop? And now you have to put all your focus into getting healthy and getting past it before you can even do any of these other things.
Right.
So I'm very well aware that this isn't everyone's path or everyone's journey. I am at this point where I'm working very hard, like I'm being proactive on trying to keep my thoughts and how I talk to myself at my highest, loving way possible, that I would give to anybody else. I would give to you, our children, my family, friends. Like, I genuinely love all of you. And
We love you too.
oh, but stay with me. But I think that how many times a day can I say that to myself? And somebody woke me up to that, I have to say, like maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. And when I first heard, and she was like, what do you say? What are you telling yourself? Are you negative self-talking? And I'm like, what? No, not me. What? And I went home and I'm like, oh my God, your hair is so terrible. Da, da, da. And I just went, I mean, usually it was my appearance, but it was like one thing after another. Or why do I have my room like this? This is such a mess. Why do I have this holy shirt? What do you think? You have to keep this forever? What is your problem? You must, and then I can go on and on. I won't hurt the podling's ears here, but and it's a long list of negative self-talk. And instead now I hear, if I even start that list, I've worked really hard to put a clamp on it and to stop, not only stop it, but to turn it upside down. No, ma'am.
And I think that that same negative self-talk keeps people from doing the things that they
Of
really want to
course.
do, because you're saying, you
Who am
you would
I?
who am I to do that? Who am I? I'm not in that industry. Why would I do that? I'm going to talk about myself for a second and say that about a year ago, I met some people that were in the music industry, and I had an idea for a song.
Did you
And
say idea?
an idea. No, I
That's
said
what. That's how
idea.
your dad used to say
Did I
it.
say
I feel
idea?
like you said it.
I didn't mean to say
Aw.
idea. I meant idea. I really do. I'm very upset if I said idea.
Well, if it's in there, you can't delete it.
All right. You all have to listen back to that. So I talked to these producers and I was like, I want to do this song. And they're like, all right, let's do it. So we got a bunch of musicians and I got a singer, and we went into the recording studio and we made not one, but 3 songs that I had a vision for. And I'm not a record producer. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I knew what I wanted in this song. And I wasn't afraid to do it. I wasn't afraid to get in there, and I wasn't afraid to tell all the different people involved, no, that's not exactly what I want. I want it this way. And when you have a vision for something and you have a goal, you can make anything happen. And it was so thrilling and exciting to go through that process.
It was more thrilling for me to watch you do that, because there has been so much time in your life, so many times in your life where you have talked about doing something like that, and then all of a sudden there you were, not, kind of everything became like a path that you were carving that you hadn't been down before, and everything was green light, green light. You met this guy, you met that guy, you met this guy, and you couldn't have seen that coming. And that's just it. If somebody would have told you you're going to be doing that and you're going to be spending all this time doing that, you might be like, really? I've thought about that, but you couldn't know in ahead of time. It was only in real time, present moment that you're like, wow, I just met this dude and he has a recording studio in his house. What? And he works for so-and-so. What? And it was one thing after another, and it gave you permission.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the motivation, but it was like you didn't show up at the moment until it was the exact right time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's super, super exciting. And I really, really hope that people who are listening will do the same thing,
It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
The world is your oyster.
Absolutely.
Is that the phrase?
That's it. Do you know that's an idiom?
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Sorry. You guys, David, all he wants to do is tell you guys idioms.
What? No, I don't. That's not all I want to do.
No, actually, I have actually told him about 400 times since we've started this podcast that he is not allowed to talk about idioms.
I think that people would be very interested.
Well,
do you know
okay.
what the world is your oysters from?
What, David? I can't wait to hear.
It's a line from Shakespeare, actually. He came up with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any more to that story?
Well, you understand what the world is your oyster means, right? Like the world is opened up to you. And the idea was that oysters had pearls in them. So it was associating the idea that when you open up an oyster.
I'm dead that I can't believe that I actually gave you an introduction for this.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, this is everything. Keep going.
Next time you need to talk
No,
about
I'm so
a different
happy.
idiom.
I'm so thrilled. Keep talking.
No,
Finish.
that's
finish
the end of it.
The oyster, the pearl.
That's the pearl, is that the world, if you open up an oyster, it can open up the world, because then you have a pearl and then you can buy things with it. So it's opening up the world to you.
Only if you dive for pearls shall you find one.
What's that from?
It's a fortune cookie quote that I love. And I took a picture of it years ago with my pearls in the background.
Under the sheets, right?
What?
You say the words under the sheets under any fortune cookie.
No, it's in bed. What?
Under the sheets, in bed, they're both the same.
Oh my God. Wait.
So
in bed.
So what is the quote? What is the fortune cookie?
I think it says only if you dive for pearls shall you find one.
Under the sheets?
Or only if you dive in shall you find a pearl, something like that.
Under the sheets?
No, there's no sheets.
In the bed?
Yeah. All right. Well, good. I think this was an interesting convo.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I kind of thought in my head maybe we would talk about aging in the sense of our physical health, but there's so much more to it. And I think it's a state of mind, because I think even as I'm experiencing changes in my body, and I am, and you are, and you're Papa Dave already, like, hello. So like, I think even as we're experiencing that, and that it's okay. Like, it's part of this. I have gratitude, as I mentioned. It is a privilege. Not everybody gets to be this age.
That's true.
And I really, truly look at it that way. And I know it through and through, losing my father at such a young, he was just 50. We've lost other little people, friends that were just 8. I mean, not everybody gets here. And I'm so grateful. So motivation, key. Mindset, key. Attitude, and being there for someone else to make sure you're also showing them that you need them too.
Absolutely.
Because everyone needs to feel that sensation of being having purpose,
and
like you said.
being needed. Yep.
Yep. It all goes in the same basket. All right. Well, I tried to tie that up in a bow. I don't know.
No, you
if it
did
worked
great.
out.
But if anybody wants to give us any feedback, you can certainly do that at chimingin911@gmail.com. And we love to hear from you. And please subscribe.
Yeah,
and
let
like
us know if you want to hear more idioms
That's
accidentally.
right. If you give me some feedback, maybe I can get you some more idiom
There's
information.
so many where that came from.
I have a note
Guys,
on my phone.
be careful what you wish for.
Nothing but idioms.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
We know.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Peace.